As we come on, nothing new. No new cases in the state, no new deaths. The same thing happens in Nueces County. Since April 29th, it's been 7.4, over 46,000, and over 600,000. Since the 5th, over 13,000, over 1,600. Vaccinations, 17.2, 61.5, 17.8, 21.2. 578 million, 220, 68.6.8. In total, 6.7 cases, total cases, and 46.9 million total doses been given, with over 17.8 million people fully vaccinated. Worldwide in total, 11.6, new doses, 5.9, 4.6 million fully vaccinated, 60.1%. That's worldwide. So that is really some great news going on with the world of COVID. But there has been two new reports.
The line started early and...
Sorry. There has been some new, there's been new COVID waves that could affect 100 million people. So let's take a look at that.
First Lady Jill Biden is in Europe this weekend visiting U.S. service members and Ukrainian refugees. Tonight, Dr. Biden is in Slovakia, where she was met by an honor guard and dignitaries in the capital, Bratislava. Today in Romania, the First Lady made what she called a heartbreaking visit to a school in Bucharest, where she met with refugee children and their mothers from Ukraine. Earlier, she also helped serve dinner to U.S. troops posted about 60 miles from the Ukrainian border. Now to the pandemic and a new warning from the Biden administration. It's predicting a fall and winter wave with 100 million infections. Cases nationwide are up 52% in the last 2 weeks. Hospitalizations have risen 21%. We get more now from CBS's Lilia Luciano in Los Angeles.
Hey, Adriana, good evening. Here in California, some counties are already on their sixth wave of COVID, and the expectation is that after the summer, there will be another explosion of infection. The White House is sounding the alarm about a new COVID wave this fall and winter, driven by new Omicron subvariants. It projects up to 30% of Americans could be affected and is urging Congress to pass billions more in COVID prevention money now. CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus.
We need to be on top of it. There should be no more deaths from this virus.
About 2/3 of Americans are now living in high or substantial COVID risk areas. New infections and hospitalizations are increasing nationwide. What's the status of the pandemic at this point?
There's a lot of immunity out there. Over 90% of the country has immunity. And we have Paxlovid, which is a fail-safe. If you're high risk and get it, we can treat it. So this is a new era of living with rather than hiding from the virus.
Still, about 1/3 of Americans are not fully vaccinated and only half have been boosted. What's the impact of not having everyone boosted?
The more people get the virus and the higher your viral count, the more chance of a new variant coming. It's not changing to get more deadly. But by luck of the draw, there could be a change that can make it more aggressive or to evade the vaccines, and then we're in trouble.
Here in LA, most infections are happening in offices and at schools. Dr. Agus says part of learning to live with COVID means that we have to change our workplace culture. If you're symptomatic, don't be a hero, stay home. And workplaces also have to allow people to take those very necessary sick days. Adriana?
Lilia Luciano, thank you.
Agreed. And just days ago, Johnson & Johnson is put on a limit from the FDA. Watch.
Behalf of
There is some breaking news tonight.
Tonight, the FDA now says it is limiting the use of Johnson & Johnson's single-dose COVID vaccine to adults who can't get any other COVID shot because of a rare but potentially life-threatening risk of blood clots, just as another Omicron subvariant has swept in. From the Northeast, where COVID cases are up nearly 160%, to the West, a 200% spike in Los Angeles County. The question is, what lies ahead?
we have our eye on the South. When people spend more time indoors to be in air-conditioned rooms, you're likely going to see more transmission.
Cases are up in 44 states. Hospitalizations are rising in 33.
We have this new ultra-contagious Omicron subvariant, and we also have people returning to pre-pandemic life. They're not masking, they're socializing indoors.
A COVID outbreak on Carnival's Spirit cruise ship from Miami to Seattle forced passengers who tested positive, like Darren Seiferdson, to isolate in their rooms.
I literally stayed in this room for 6 days with no telephone service. They wouldn't answer the phone.
Carnival insists travelers were vaccinated and tested before boarding, and that their health and safety protocols exceed CDC guidelines. A reminder the pandemic is not over. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
I agree. It's not over until everyone follows these tips. So make sure you know what you're doing. So that way we can all stay healthy, get boosted, get vaccinated, and make sure that this crap doesn't happen again on our doorstep. Well, coming up next, do you have any plans for Mother's Day? We'll tell you. We'll tell you what plans you should have for Mother's Day. Then we're also going to tell you about a thief cutting the victim's grass before taking the lawnmower. And are jet ski bullies harassing a high school rowing club? Lisa Guerrero with an Inside Edition investigation coming up. Up front tonight, are you out of Mother's Day ideas or activities that go way, or out of activities? Well, here's 45 special Mother's Day activity ideas that go way beyond breakfast in bed, thanks to OprahDaily.com. There are lots of things you can do. You can write a letter to her. You can also take a family hike. Start a mother-daughter book club. Indulge in mini petties. Check out the zoo. There's no zoo in Corpus. There's no zoo in Corpus. You got the Texas State Aquarium. Visit the aquarium. Texas State Aquarium, Corpus Christi. If you're in the Corpus area, or just in the other state, you got aquariums and zoos. Book her a massage. That'd be nice. Or massage it yourself. Go camping for one day. Or if you had the whole weekend. Have a game night. If you don't have the regular board games like Monopoly and all, you've got the game show games. You have Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Family Feud, Millionaire. Hit the farmer's market. Grab some coffee. Visit a U-Pig farm. It's not one of your Corpus. Take a flower arranging class. Paddleboard yoga. Sign up for paint night. Paint and pottery. Have a craft room. Attend or stream a concert. Or see a musical. Bake together. Pies, cookies, whatever. Chicken. Go antiquing. Plan a staycation. Plan a trip. Serve breakfast in bed. Make mimosas. Stroll through a sculpture garden. Plant a vegetable garden. Hire a photographer. Let her sleep in. Stream a comedy show. Take her shopping. Host a high tea. Have a family picnic. Work on a puzzle together. Have a wine tasting. Draw her a bath. Take a cooking class. Volunteer. Flip through old albums. Binge on rom-coms. popcorn, bottle of vino, then plop yourselves on the couch with good marathon and feel good movies. On-screen home videos, if you have old VHS tapes. Put your DIY skills to work. Go for a run. Help her get organized. Learn how to read Tarot. Plan a Zoom party. For those who are unvaccinated or in the mandatory zone. Still haven't given up yet? Or more ideas? Yeah, I'm just clicking. Here's another 10 ways to help celebrate. Offer yard and garden services. Decorate your mom's door. Give flowers. Cook for mom or set up a brunch date. Give your mom a long phone call to put on a virtual talent show. Watch a movie or show together side by side. Get creative. Make a mom a video, music playlist, or a piece of art. Get outside. Go for a stroll for a park. How about packing mom a picnic? Make a homemade gift. Travel virtually to a museum or garden. Or make your own card. There's also breakfast in bed. You can have a dance party. There's also those easy gift ideas. You can make candles, necklaces, thumbprint calendar, platter, key wind chime. That's to name a few. If your mom doesn't want to have a gift, just let her sleep in. This is what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. This is exactly what I'm going to do. Just let her sleep in so that she can get some good rest. Because she's going to sleep in, I'm going to sleep in. Or if you don't like to cook, just get stuff delivered here. You can get Favor, DoorDash. Just make sure you watch the prices so that you out there can save your money. And not spend freaking $40 a day on DoorDash. Or $100 a day subscription to Dash Pass or whatever. Let's keep Mother's Day very simple. If we keep it very simple, all the moms are going to have a very good time. When we come back, a thief cuts the victim's grasp before taking the lawnmower. We'll tell you what happens. Also, are jet ski bullies harassing a high school rowing club? Lisa Guerrero with an Inside Edition investigation after this. We want to bring you up to date on a story we've been talking about for the past months. Months ago, we told you about we told you about Ethan Crumley, who was the accused shooter in Oxford. He's now still in jail. His parents are still in jail. Next trial date is in October. But the Oxford School District plans memorials to shooting victims. They're moving forward plans to remember 4 high school students who died in mass shootings and help them grieve in the process of students and staff. This is from the Detroit News. In a message Friday on his website, Oxford Community School Superintendent Ken Waver said abandoning a gym that signing the senior courtyard would serve as a remembrance of Hannah St. Juliana, Madison Baldwin, Tank Marie, and Justin Schilling. Weaver said the plans were made based on information from other schools that have faced similar tragedy. Mental health experts who specialize in trauma recovery. The board is also forming a committee to plan a permanent memorial to the students. His parents, James and Ethan, each charged with 4 counts of attempted manslaughter. If accused of buying a handgun for 15-year-old, Ethan and Swift failing to properly store the weapon or advise school officials their son base has access to it. His attorneys indicated they plan insanity depends on his behalf. That's for Ethan. But I'm glad the school district is stepping up to the plate to make sure that everyone remembers. Nothing new in CCSD. But we'll be up to speed as if these things happen in CCSD or other things. And on Monday, I'm going to give you my message to the student that attacked the assistant principal like I told you about on Friday. Give me where it continues in just a moment. Imagine this. One day you're sleeping, and then all of a sudden you hear a lawnmower going off. It must be one of your friends. It must be a friend or a neighbor. So all of a sudden you're sleeping and you hear, and all of a sudden like, what's going on? You see someone stealing the lawnmower, cutting the grass, but it's stealing it. That's exactly what happened. Let's take a look.
Well, that's courteous. Cops in Texas say this man stole a lawnmower, but before he made off with his loot, he mowed his victim's grass. This video of the incident was captured at a home in Port Arthur. Police say Marcus Hubbard entered the residential building last month and removed the mower without the owner's consent. He then proceeded to mow the front and backyards of the property. When cops arrived on scene, they say Hubbard ran from authorities, dragging the mower behind him. It was later found abandoned in an alley. Hubbard was able to evade authorities and is still on the loose. Cops say he has an outstanding warrant for burglary of a building. Hopefully he'll be just as courteous to his future arresting officers as he was to his alleged victims. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Mara Montalbano.
I'm sorry, I can't hold it in. Still mowing the lawn where you're supposed to. Gotta be suspicious. On the lawn before they leave. And all of a sudden, get your hands up. Uh-oh. And you're running while dragging the lawnmower go. You're gonna be like this. You're like. And then, put your hands up. I'm glad he got arrested for what happened. I'm glad that person got arrested. All right, you remember? I mean, it's been over 25 years since the John Benet Ramsey case. Now, John Benet's dad wants a new investigation to find the killer. Well, what's going to happen next? Take a look.
It's been more than 25 years since the death of 6-year-old beauty queen John Benet Ramsey. Now her father, John Ramsey, is asking for a new investigation to finally find his daughter's killer.
It's America's most famous cold case, the murder of 6-year-old John Benet Ramsey on Christmas 25 years ago. Now John Bonet's father, John Ramsey, is calling on the governor of Colorado to take the case out of the hands of the Boulder police and transfer it to an independent agency.
Anyone that would do this to a child is just beyond sick. He may be still out there. And if he is, he's probably killed other children.
He's also demanding that the latest cutting-edge DNA technology be used to find John Bonet's killer. There's evidence sitting in a locker somewhere that has never been tested for DNA, and it could be tested.
Yep.
And you think that could solve this crime, and it hasn't been done.
That's correct. Technology has advanced so far in 25 years that to not go back and apply the latest technology is just foolish.
Today, Colorado's governor announced he will look into how the state can assist in using new technology to further investigate this cold case and to identify John Benet Ramsey's killer. Critics say the case was botched from the beginning by the Boulder PD, and a cloud of unjustified suspicion hung over John Ramsey and his wife Patsy for years following the murder. They were finally exonerated in 2008. 2 years after Patsy's death from ovarian cancer.
We couldn't have been hurt any more than we were hurt by the loss of our child. So we looked at this craziness as just nuisance noise.
Who do you think murdered your daughter?
I was asked that question early on. I said, I don't know anybody this evil. I don't think I've been around anybody this evil.
One investigator told John Ramsey John Benet may have been murdered in a personal vendetta to hurt him and his family.
You may not even know who they are. And, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Boulder police say the investigation remains a priority and say they will continue to work with DNA experts from around the country. Meantime, John Ramsey is campaigning for a Jean Benet law that would make murdering a child under 10 a federal offense.
And I'm glad the governor stepped up to the plate to make sure. It's over 25 years since this happened, and we still don't know who killed her. I wasn't even born. I was born one month after the murder. So you made me like asking, how do you know so much about the murder? I mean, you weren't even born. I was born. Like I said, I was born about a month after the murder. With new evidence, and we still don't know. There's a whole list of suspects out there. None of them claim to be the murderer. The guy who was Santa Claus may have murdered her. No, it wasn't her. The parents could have murdered her. No, the parents did not murder her. Patsy, nobody knows. We don't know who killed this little girl. This is a mystery, and it's still ongoing. A cold case. If Batman solved this case if Batman solved this case, he would find the killer. And then Returner John and Gordon and Commissioner Gordon would go up to John and say, hey, Batman found your killer. It's been 25 years of meeting face to face. That would have been a great climax. And also, if you've been watching Let's Make a Deal, Deborah Norval of Inside Edition is co-hosting Let's Make a Deal. If you watch that, I'm very pleased. We'll be looking into Johnny Depp and Amber Heard in several weeks, and throughout this in a week or two. But when we come back, are jet ski bullies harassing a high school rowing club? Lisa Guerrero with an Inside Edition investigation when we come back. Have you been jet skiing? We may have been bullied by those jet ski bullies, but is there a link? Is there been a problem with the rowing club and jet skis? Here's Lisa Guerrero. Here's Chief Investigative Correspondent Lisa Guerrero. Here's Inside Edition Chief Investigative Correspondent Lisa Guerrero with an Inside Edition investigation.
It's dangerous, obnoxious behavior. Jet skiers recklessly accelerating past this woman on a motorboat. purposely spraying her with waves of water.
It was so horrific to see that video.
Violet Diala posted this video. That's her daughter, Margot's high school rowing team coach on the boat, getting soaked.
The jet skiers have really created a huge problem for us. They target our kids and our coaches.
She says jet ski bullies are a constant nuisance, and they often have to cancel practice.
What do the jet skis do when you see them? They harass us, they spray us with water intentionally, they say horrible words to us as minors.
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
It's gotten so bad, the Miami Police Department's Marine Patrol is cracking down.
Just how dangerous is it for some of these jet skis to get that close to the rowers?
It is very, very dangerous. These rowers could fall off their vessels or their boats, and they could get hurt. They could seriously get hurt, not only by that one jet ski, but by the other jet skis that are nearby.
Officer Arturo Del Castillo invited me along on a recent jet ski patrol, looking for riders speeding through waterways designated no-wake zones.
Let's go to the rowing club, Will.
Not far from where the row team practices, he pulled over several jet skis and issued them all speeding citations.
The jet ski was going a little too fast.
So this guy was stopped in a no-wake zone, so today he's getting a ticket. Jet skis can reach 60 miles an hour, but they have no brakes, which he says makes them especially hazardous if they get too close to other crafts.
Do you realize it's dangerous to speed in this area?
I have nothing to say.
It's just a matter of time before one of our kids is killed.
So what can you do to avoid these jet ski bullies? First, you need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. If you see this happening, let the police handle it. If you've been harassed by them, if you're part of the road team, cancel practice. That's a great thing to do. And if you continue being harassed, call the police, and the police will take care of it. Now, as you know, it's the end of anniversary for our 5-year anniversary. We wanted to do a huge celebration, but I got sidetracked. But I got sidetracked at that time. I'm very sorry. But don't you worry. Next year, I'm gonna make it up to you guys. In the 6th-year anniversary, we're gonna make it up to you guys. So don't you worry. I'm gonna really make it up to you this time, with some help. But there's one video there's one memory I'll never forget, and that is when I talked about parents who confronted a school in Snellville. Why is that? Well, basically because of the fact that his 2 children were not on the bus. I mean, they were missing. The first time, he was calm. The second time, he was mad. But he let it go. I'm gonna show you a quick news clip.
Breathe.
Because this is a news clip I have not showed you. I tried looking for it, and now weeks or a month after I posted it, it eventually got to me. So let's take a look at this.
You have seen the video. It has gone viral, well over 2 million views.
On 1380 WAOK radio, Nina Young and Tristan Dijon went public about a terrifying incident involving their 5-year-old daughter at Norton Elementary School in Snellville.
It is a video of parents going to a school and claiming this school lost their child 3 times.
They broke their silence on Real Talk with Dr. Rashad Ritchie Monday.
This is the 3rd
third time y'all lost her. And my son called me from the bus crying, wondering where his damn sister is.
After this video of them confronting school officials last month went viral.
They're looking at it as an issue of she just missed the bus. And we were trying to get them to understand, if you have to go find a child, she was lost. If you did not account for that child, she was lost.
Dejan said the school lost track of his daughter and failed to place her on the school bus at the end of the day.
Until my child makes it home through my door, you're responsible for my child.
The principal later sent out a notice to parents stating that they made a mistake and they have reviewed their dismissal procedures so it never happens again.
If you have adults throughout the entire school, as they say, then where were they? And how was a 5-year-old little girl whose first year in school unaccounted for?
But Dejan isn't convinced the problem has been solved. He said the school has lost his child not once, but 3 times. And other parents have informed him the same thing happened to them.
My daughter wasn't the first, but she can be the last. All we need them to do is just come together and let's put a plan in place. Something in place to keep these kids safe so parents don't have to worry.
Now, the parents said a school resource officer told them they would no longer be allowed here on the campus after that recorded outburst that included some foul language as well. But when I reached out to school officials, they said that's just not the case. The family is allowed here on the property. Now, Tristan and Nina will hash this out at the school board meeting this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We're live in Gwinnett County. Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
That will be.
But the question I still have is, did they do it? I plan on talking to Tristan. So Tristan, I plan on talking to the family. So if you guys are out there watching, I want to talk to you via Zoom. Hope you're ready out there. And coming up Monday, my explosive outrage to a student who assaulted an assistant principal. You don't want to miss that. I'm pissed. I was pissed. I didn't want to do it angrily, but I didn't want to do it angrily on Friday, but I'm doing it on Monday morning, that is. That's all of this edition of Give Me a Break. Saturday going to Sunday, Mother's Day. We'll see you again for Give Me a Break Monday. Happy Mother's Day, everyone, for all of us here at Give Me a Break and YouTube. Good night, everyone.